Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of the Socrates Cafe podcast. Today I've got with me as a guest, he's a friend that I know through my brother. My brother went to school with him, we've been lifelong friends. His life took a bit of a change when he decided to give up his day job to be an author full time after the release of his first successful book. He's written over 20 books now. He's got a series called Legionary. There's Strategos. We've got Empire of the Bronze, Rise of Empires, and HWA short story collection. And another one that I'll bring up towards the end of the podcast. But he's since taken up writing. He's amassed over 20 books, and has managed to turn it into his 9 to 5 day job, which is pretty remarkable. And I just wanted to kind of, first off, I guess, for you, Gordon, introduce yourself to all the viewers, let them know how you got into writing, what sparked your interest, and how it all began, I guess.
Right, thanks for having me on the podcast, Andrew. That's quite an introduction. I've probably known you since you were a toddler, to be
Aye.
weird when you think about it. So, yeah, friends with your brother since the first days of high school. But yeah, the writing thing. So, I did school, I did university. I took a kind of path of like technology and science. Mainly because I thought that's how you get a decent job. Is
Mhm,
if you're good at a subject at school, stick at it. And I was decent at the sort of scientific subjects.
mhm,
Went away, got my qualifications, got a job. It's a decent job and everything, but to be honest, it didn't satisfy. In a lot of ways, it was enjoyable to an extent, but it didn't kind of scratch an inner itch. And that's probably the thing that's been with me since I was little is storytelling and escapism. Reading classic stories, watching classic movies, all that kind of stuff. That feeling that you're not restricted to the physical world that we're in and the problems that you've got around you. You can escape. You can go anywhere. You can do anything.
mhm.
I mean that came to me originally as I say, like reading and watching films and things, but started writing like cartoons. I actually wrote cartoons and short stories and things with your brother
All right.
back at high school, um, and then it developed into. I remember trying to have a crack at a novel when I was like 15, and I realised how really difficult it was. I amassed like 20 pages of writing and thought, man, that's not even a novel, and I didn't even know where it was going. I wasn't sure what the story was supposed to be about, but I knew that I really enjoyed the process of playing with it. Anyway, cut to a bit, maybe 10, 12 years later, I was like mid to late 20s and I was an IT job. And I just found myself spending most of my time at work. Um, I don't actually care if my previous employers are listening because I'm not employed by them anymore. I spent most of my time just with a browser open reading the Gutenberg press site, where all the ancient histories laid out, like the Pliny's natural histories and Ammianus, Marcellinus, history of the Romans, all these kind of chronicles of things that actually happened in our history and the madness that's contained within them. And I was just totally captivated. And like every single paragraph had me thinking, that's a story, that's a novel, it's something, something can be made of that.
Mhm.
Um, so I kind of picked up the baton again, while I had a lot of free time at night, so my wife was out doing yoga and stuff, and I was kind of like twiddling my thumbs. So I put um, my efforts into actually using that knowledge I was picking up while I was skiving at work. So yeah, I spent a good, I don't know, couple of years putting together what became Legionary. So it was my novel. At the time, it was just a kind of amorphous plaything. It was something for me to, as I say, escape into and find my writing voice, which is something that's talked about a lot, and that took a while to do. Indeed, it was like maybe it didn't become a novel about 6, 7 years later. There was a lot of putting it to in a drawer, forgetting about it, giving up, coming back to it, reading another book and realising this guy knows how to write a novel, employ this technique and make mine better. And it found its way anyway, mainly because so I sent it to loads of publishers and agents, got loads and loads of rejections back, some really blunt and some actually quite nice and supportive. But what changed it was I got a Kindle for Christmas in 2010, and it just occurred to me at that point that, hold on, this cuts out the whole publishing sort of barrier system. What's to stop me from uploading a book onto? I've got a book. I could upload it onto this. How do books get onto Amazon? And I looked at it and went through their self-publishing route, and really nervous about putting something like that out there because there's a lot of me in it, as in it's kind of semi-autobiographical, which sounds weird because it's set the late Roman Empire. But there's more than one layer. There's the setting and there's the character and the personal kind of challenges that the character faces.
And I guess that's where you'll kind of draw challenges from your own life and put that into the character, even though it is a different time period that you're talking about. There's still similar challenges that people face.
100%. Writing about the late Roman Empire is, you could say, it's as far removed from my life as possible. But a really clever writer once said, and I can't remember their name, but it was like whether you're writing about the late Roman Empire or about space vampires, whatever it is you're writing about, you're not actually writing about that. You're writing about yourself. That's why you're sitting down. You need to get something out, and whatever means you get it out via is completely valid. So if it's something like, for me, I had an interest in the Roman Empire and history, and I need to express things about myself, it's a perfect vehicle for doing that. And in terms of the escapism, book provides escapism.